Questions?
Watching guys like Kylan Hill and Tommy Stevens on tape, what do you see from them, and what's the key to stopping them this weekend?
Kylan Hill is a terrific back, arguably the best one we've seen. He's got great vision, great patience, and then he can go from 0 to 60 in a heartbeat. And that's the best thing he does. He squares his shoulders behind the line of scrimmage. Reminds me a lot of Lavian in that regard. He sits behind that big offensive line, lets him lean on people. Right when he finds the crease, then he explodes through it. He's hard to tackle. You got to make sure you strike him with a lot of hats. And in terms of Tommy Stevens, he's been in this offense. He's been in this system with Coach Moorhead. With his time at Penn State, so he knows how to be efficient in it. He's a good runner. He's a good thrower. It's funny. He looks eerily similar, when he wears that 7, to Fitzgerald in the past. So, and everybody knows how dangerous he was. So we've got to be really solid up front, and then try to be able to handle the size of those wideouts.
You haven't had to, you kind of prepare as if you're whoever's behind, the offensive line for them. But do you feel like you've kind of gotten an extra preparation considering you've all seen 5 quarterbacks through 3 games?
Every quarterback's different. So in terms of that kind of preparation, I think it's more the offense than the quarterback. But we'll be ready for all of them. And, because Schrader's played and he's done a good job. He operates well in that deal. So, if for some reason, Stevens, shoulder is for whatever reason he can't go, we'll be ready for whoever steps in there. But they're both very similar, in terms of players. They both understand what Coach Moorhead's trying to get out of that offense, but it starts with the ground game. And if we don't take away Hill, we're in for a long day.
What about the Mitchell? One of their wide receivers seems to have a lot of big plays.
He is. He's their big downfield guy. He's a big, tall receiver. One's got good speed, and he's been around for a while. So, the wide receiver wise, they've got a lot of height and they're strong. They can catch the jump balls. So we got to do a good job and not panic when the ball's in the air. From front to back, again, it starts up front for us. We've got to be able to create some pressure. Create some misthrown balls. Make them high. Make them slightly back shoulder. Make them off. Not let them get into a good rhythm, and again, eliminate the run game. It's going to be hard to eliminate a run game. They're rushing for over 200 yards a game. I know Hill's averaging 144, so it'll be a good challenge for us.
Right, up until the long end around Saturday, you've done a really good job against the run. Against Florida, what went into that? What were you doing well to stop their run?
It was our front. Our front did a really good job. All those guys, the big guys, really dominated. I don't want to just single anyone out, but again, Q had a good game, Bully had a good game, Calvin, TJ, when Looney, got in, and even Abule, all those guys, they really played stout, and we were able to really shut it down. We talked about having to play with a light box at times, and we did, and that was encouraging. Obviously, that the last run hurts, and not because of the yardage, but because of the situation, and the ability to give the ball back to the offense there, and I know they would have been able to move it right back down and have another chance at a field goal. So that's why that one stings. But again, that's behind us, and we got to find a way to stop this really powerful, rugged, physical running game. And so it's really kind of it's going to be a big physical fight up front between our O-line and their D-line, leaning on each other, our linebackers trying to tackle, and then when they throw those jump balls, our DB's got to compete up with those big receivers.
How have they bounced back this week emotionally after such a tough loss?
You know what, they've done a good job. It's been a good week of practice. I thought at the end of last week there was a really good focus to practice, and I think they've carried it over. They realized that's what you need to succeed. The older guys have really challenged the young guys. We're starting to get some leaders there. We've always had Cash and those guys up front, and they're really, it's sort of trickling through to the back end. Now we still need the back end to keep coming along, but everybody's got to be consistent. And so, everybody points there, but it's across the board. It's outside linebackers got to be consistent, and we've got to make the plays that present themselves. The speed option, we had an unblocked player to handle the quarterback, and he stumbled, so then we had to take the pitch player, put him on the quarterback, and he was able to make that late pitch for the touchdown. I mean, it's those plays that keep you up at night, but you got to put them behind you, and we have. And now we got to make them when they present themselves this weekend on Saturday.
Brandon making that first string up there, just what his evaluation of him, kind of what led to that?
He's made some plays. We still need to work on his consistency, but that's with all our guys. And we need to see Jamari keep coming along, and he's got all the ability, and he's got to get sort of out of the jitters, a little bit, and he's got to be able to think and communicate, and it can't be 5 plays on, 1 play off. It can't be 4 plays and 2 plays. It's got to be every single down. We understand what our job is, what our communication is, and it's those communication breakdowns that make you frustrated. And so right now, we talked about at the beginning of the year, the guys that know what to do, know how to communicate, those are the ones that are going to be on the field for us.
Brandon's play on the screenplay that he made could have been a pretty huge play in the grand scheme of things. Has he even surprised you a little bit with his ability of tackling and the physicality?
I don't know if surprise is the right word. No, but I mean, that was a really nice play. But he needs to do that all the time. There's some plays that he needs to play, a little less soft, maybe in coverage at times and challenge a little bit more. So we'll just keep pushing him in that direction. But no, that was a really nice play that he made, and a big one, on a second down screen.
All right, everybody good?